Good morning, my name's Julie from So Unique, and I will pop all the links down below where you can find me on social media. I'm most active on Instagram, and I have an Etsy shop where I sell project bags, fabric, commercial sock yarn, stitch markers, things like that. Yes, and welcome to week 2 of the February vlogs. Well, it's Saturday morning, and as you can see from my surroundings, I'm not at home. I've come down to the shop for a little bit because I've got a couple of orders to package up, which I've just been to the post office. I've been to the chemist to pick up my prescription because I have a bad habit of forgetting. It's a good job they're actually next door to each other. So I'm just going to collect a bit of fabric from the shop, and then I'm going to be heading off home. Then really it's going to be just, I don't know, a bit of housework. Not a lot though today. I need to wash up and have a cup of tea, of course, and sort of get some lunch ready, I think, because it's just me today. Everybody else is busy, which is great. So after lunch I'm going to be off into my sewing room and I'm going to do some sewing, which is going to be wonderful. I mean, the weather today is absolutely glorious out there. I mean, there's a clear blue sky, the sun's out, it's cool, there's a little bit of a breeze, so I'm not sure when this storm's going to hit us, but I hope we miss it really, because it's not going to be very nice if it's bad, but never how. Anyhow, I'll catch you a bit later on. Well, it's Sunday afternoon, it's about 3:15, and I've just managed to get out into my sewing room. The weather's been horrendous today. I mean, it's been so dark and windy, and the rain's just been hammering down. It's awful. Poor old Elsa was out this morning, and she got caught in the worst, and she was so frightened. I'm trying to get her to come in, and she was that scared she just kept running past the front door. But anyhow, she made the right move and come rushing in, and she was absolutely drenched, poor thing. So we dried her off with a towel, and she just sort of sat in the front room and laid down and sort of had a rest. I think she was really stressed by it all. But no, it's been an awful day. But the sun came out about half an hour ago, I think, and the wind's not quite as bad and it's not raining. So I collected my bag of bits and I'm sat in front of my sewing machine now. So I'm going to have a little bit of time, finish off these project bags that I started yesterday, so I'm really looking forward to that, and then I'm probably going to do a little bit of tidying. Yes, because our rubbish bin will be emptied, I think it's next Monday, so I'm going to start and do a little bit of clearing out this week and fill up my bin. Oh dear me, it says I'm to go to the dump it. Nobody wants to go out in this weather. Yes, because I want to get my cutting table back, because before Christmas I had a clean and clear cutting table, and unfortunately since Christmas the table has just been cluttered full of bits, so I would like to sort that out today, and at least I can cut out then, so instead of having to do it at work. So yeah, sewing and tidying. I might even get some baking done later. We need some bread. Kevin's whining at me that there's no pudding, no cake. Oh dear, I don't know. He likes his afters, I tell you. Anyhow, I'm going to get on now, do a bit of sewing, so I'll catch you all later. I want to have my trusty little flask mug, which is filled with Yorkshire tea. Keeps warm for several hours, it does as it says, so that's going to keep me going for a bit. Well, I'm still out in my craft room. I've been sewing away this afternoon. I mean, the sun was out, as I said before. 4:45, it was still nice and light and there was still a bit of sun there. But by 5 o'clock, you'll see in the first picture I put in, I think the photograph might show up a little bit lighter than what it actually is. But then within 10 minutes, the sky is black, and I have tried to put a photograph in, but yet again, I think it might show up a little bit lighter than what it is. But the wind's starting up and I can hear the rain starting, just starting I think. It's only a little bit. I'm still in my sewing room. Can you hear that? That's the rain a coming. So do I stay out here and continue, or do I go inside? I could be stuck out here for ages. It's a good job I've still got my cup of tea. Oh my word, if I go in now I am going to get absolutely soaked. It is tipping it down. I think I'm going to make one more bag and maybe do a bit of tidying up, but I think I'm going to have to brave it and go in shortly though. Not nice weather, dear me. Elsa! Hello! Hello! Well, it's Monday morning, so I'm at home today. I've had breakfast today and I had some nice fruit bread toasted, and a nice cup of Yorkshire tea. And I've just got another cup of Yorkshire tea, which is, where are we? There. Well, the weather has improved a bit since yesterday. The sun was out earlier on, but it's gone a bit dark and it's still windy, but it's not as bad as it was. I'm on the school run a bit later on today, so I need to decide which way around I'm going. If I go the short way round, there's quite a few big trees, and if I go down into town, there are a few big trees down the next street. Oh, I could just go down our street and sort of round a bit, long way round. Then it's just houses, so I suppose I'll probably go that way. Yeah. Knowing my luck, it's going to rain. Anyhow, I thought I'd just pop on for a bit while I've got a chance. I've made myself a list for today, and I've already done one of the things on my list. Now, apart from sort of a bit of housework and sort of paying bills and making bread, I have put Packetsy orders on, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to do that today, so I think that will be tomorrow's job, because I've got a few things I've got a couple of things coming from Amazon today. Something quite exciting. I might regret buying this light, but I think everybody's going to enjoy it, and I will share with you a bit later on what I've bought. But as you know, I am working on my second sock for one of my whips, and I'm also working on my Just a Snow Wrap. Well, what I've decided to do this week, because obviously I want to work on both things, is to do, what am I doing? I wanted to do 20 rows this week on my Just a Snow Wrap, and I managed to do 6 rows Saturday morning, and then after that, that's when I decided I wanted to do 20 rows, because the next bit of the pattern was pretty plain and simple, so I managed that. I did 10 rows Saturday evening, so I've got another 10 to do. So what I decided to do was split it up and do 2 rows a day, which I've done my 2 rows, and that's as far as I've got now. So it has grown from about here since Saturday, I think. I think I'm at 10% now on the pattern. I'm on the 3rd colour. Really enjoying it. I think, did I show? I don't know if I showed you the right way. That way, that's it. Really enjoying it. And I would actually like to work on it a little bit more, but I'm not. I'm going to get the socks done. So that is, like I say, a long-term project. And I know I said I wasn't going to show it you every week, but I am going to, because it'll keep me motivated to actually keep doing a little bit and not stick it in the basket and leave it on one side, because that's what I have a habit of doing. So next week, depending where I am on the pattern, it will depend on how many rows I do. So I might do 20 next week, I might not. So that's that one. My second sock, I've been doing that, and I think last time you saw it I was just starting on the gusset. Well, I've managed to get all that done, and with what's left I've decided to do 8 rows a day and then do the toe, and I will be finished on Friday then. So then that's that whip off the needles. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that because I can watch telly while I'm doing this. I've decided on which yarn I'm using for my Snuggledown Cowl, and I'm going to use the new one that I bought last week from Lay Family Yarns. So this week I am going to get this all balled up. It could take me all week knowing my luck. I don't really do well with winding yarn off, I'm afraid. I think I'll probably manage with these smaller ones. I'm not looking forward to doing this one though. So I'm going to have to get my ball winder out and my Swift thing out. And I can see I'm going to end up in a pickle, like I always do. So I want, oops, that's my phone. I want to be able to cast this on at the weekend. It'll probably not be till Sunday because we're going out for the day on Saturday. It's Kevin's birthday this week, so we are going, weather permitting, providing the weather's not really bad, we're going to go to York for the day. Go for something to eat, go around the train museum, go around the town, things like that. So that's what we're planning on doing. So I don't think there'll be a lot of knitting on Saturday. I'll probably take something with me to do in the car, but it'll probably just be probably another sock whip or something. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Anyhow, I had a question this morning on how I do my socks, how I do my keep track of everything I do. I've got a notebook. It's a nice notebook, and basically all I have to write everything down. I can't just go and knitting it and then think, am I there? I have to mark each row off, I'm afraid. That's just how I do it. And I sort of put little boxes for each part. So like that's my gusset there, and then that's my foot. So, and then I just mark it off. And I have stitch markers in my socks. I have 4 in especially when I'm working on the gusset. And after I've done the gusset, when I'm onto the foot, I take 2 of the stitch markers out. I leave the other 2 in that are where you've decreased on your gusset, so I know that is sort of right then for when I decrease on my toe. I do write a bit down. I mean, at the minute on this pair of socks, I've just written down the toe instructions, because even though I've got the pattern in my head, I forget. But earlier on, I actually wrote, you know, like I've got the heel turn written down there. So I try and have a page per sock. So yes, that's what I do. That's how I do mine. So this book stops in my bag, and if I'm out and about, I just take a small notebook with me, or I've got my little clicker to count my rows, and that's it. And that works for me. I think everybody's different though, aren't they? I know a lot of people just knit and they just know when they've done enough rows. But no, I have to mark everything down. So yes, today, well, I think what I'm going to do next, I'm just going to have my cup of tea, and I'm going to have a 5 minutes, maybe do a little bit of knitting on my socks, make a start on those 8 rows, and then I'm going to go and tidy my cutting table up out in my sewing room, because I bought myself a new gadget, which will be here tomorrow. So that's well, it's pretty exciting really, and not everybody will find it exciting, but it's something for the sewing room and it's going to be great, and I will share with you tomorrow, depending on what time it arrives. So yeah, so I've got to have my cup of tea now, and then I'll get some tidying up done. Well, I braved the weather and came out to my craft room. Started a bit sorting earlier on, and it's early evening and I'm still sorting, but I'm nearly done for now. Created a bit more space. Yeah, got rid of a bin full of rubbish, so that's good. While I've been sorting out, I've just been having a look at some badges that I found. Completely forgotten about these, but I've got some little pin badges. Don't know if that's sharp enough actually. There we go, that's a bit better. And they've got little pins on the back. So I think I'm going to pop them in. Anybody who buys one of my bunny bag kits, you'll get a little bunny. It's only resin, but it's very cute. Well, as you can see by the last clip, I succumbed and bought a waffle machine. Oh, dear me. Well, I've watched Rachel from Sew Me for probably over a year now, and I love seeing her waffles every week, and I just kept thinking, no, I don't need a waffle machine. Yes, I do. Yes, we bought one, and I had my little helper today, and of course, yeah, he didn't seem to be keen on waffles to start with, and all of a sudden it's, well, we're having waffles, you know, and I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, so there's more to making waffles than I thought actually, but I got to grips with this, but I do think I need a better timer. I've got one of those run back timers, which is okay. I think it's fine when you're doing like 20 minutes or more. It will run back properly. But it didn't seem to ding after 5 minutes. unless I've done something wrong. I've just had a thought. I don't know if you're meant to wind it all the way around and then come back to the 5 minutes. If that's the case, I didn't do that, so no wonder it won't ring properly. But I do think I need a digital one in the kitchen. So I think I'll have to have another look. Actually, I could pop into Tesco's probably this week and have a little look and see if they've got any. Or TK Maxx maybe if we get out. We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, so I've got my little helper tomorrow, and when he was leaving tonight, it's, "Oh, we're having waffles again tomorrow." And I said, "No, no, we're not. Can't have waffles every day." But with what I made tonight, I sent him home with one. So I don't think he'll share that with anybody else. I think he'll eat it all himself, and I've put one away to keep for tomorrow. So I think when I go and pick him up, I'll pop in the supermarket and pick up some more strawberries, and yeah, he can have that, because I think he quite enjoyed it, because he had chocolate spread. I mean, the pictures that I showed you of the quarter of a waffle, that was his, and the rest of us had some, and yeah, really enjoyed it. So I don't know if it'll be a weekly thing, but definitely going to be having waffles. Mind you, I brought some yogurt in especially, so I think I'll be making waffles at the end of the week. But to be honest, I'd quite fancy it, for tea time, just having that with yogurt and fruit on. I'd quite happily have a full one like that. That would be absolutely wonderful, I think. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to sort of seeing what other recipes are out there to make. Because when I got the machine, it got 1 or 2 recipes in the book, but there was not just a basic waffle. There was one type with bacon and that, and as I've never made any before, I wasn't really sure which to do, so looked online. I went on allrecipes.com, I think it was, and yeah, recipes on there, so that was brilliant. Good morning. Well, it's Tuesday. I've had to brave the weather this morning to come to work. I've got my cup of tea. Brought it from home this time so I could have a drink straight away. Oh, the weather's horrible this morning. We've had loads of rain first thing, and then when I'm coming out to work, we've got a bit of sleet, and then of course obviously it gets a little bit heavier, and we've still got all that wind. And you can't have an umbrella up in this weather, can you, when it's so windy? So I'm a bit wet this morning, but I could have just stopped at home today. I can't see many people coming out shopping today. I think they'll wait. Anyhow, I've been making some new project bags with the new fabric. Let's have a look. Right, well, the first one I've made is the Cool Cat one, and I've put a tab on this side with a ring, and I've used the pink fishbone fabric for the inside and the top. So this is one of the medium bags, so they will hold 300 grams of yarn easily. So I need to make a cat one for me, definitely. And then the next one is Every Dog Has Its Day, and I've used the paw fabric for the channel and for the inside, and I've put a nice red cord through it when it's got its little tab on the side. Then I made the unicorn bag. Absolutely love this fabric. It looks so pretty, so delicate, and I've put that lilac-y one on the top. So it's a pinky lilac with the gold in, and then for the inside I put the stars in, which, like I said, I love that. So what I thought I'd do on the next bag, I'd use the stars on the outside, and I put the same top channel on, and for the inside I've used the unicorn. Now I've got lots of scraps left. I might have enough bits left over for some smaller bags. But what I'm going to do today is actually do some scrappy bags. So, but first I've got, I need to tidy up the shop a little bit, and I've got to pack some Etsy orders. So if anybody who's bought off me the last few days, thank you very much. Everything's going out today. So I do appreciate your orders. It's brilliant. Thank you very much. So yes, I'm going to be using some scraps up later to see what I can come up with. Nothing fancy. I'm just going to keep it simple because obviously I haven't got a lot of time while I'm here today, and I need something quick. So I've been cutting out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't done any scrappy sewing projects for ages. So today's the day. And I've been playing around with some fabric today. The unicorn and the star bags, I've got quite a bit of scraps left over. And I thought, well, normally I'll just pack it away and put it in a box or something. So I end up with loads of scraps. So this time I thought, no, use it. Let's see what we can get out of it. So yesterday, I started doing cutting some strips, and I made a start on some sewing, and I decided to do quote as you go using strips. So today I have finished off the bag, but it's not complete. I've not done the top stitching, and I need to press it, so I will do that at home. But so far that's as far as I've got, and it's turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. Yeah, so I've got a big enough piece, so I've put that one for the lining. So that's nice. I'm really pleased with that. Like I said, I've still got bits left over. So I decided to get my templates out. So I found my hexagon templates out. So I've been cutting hexes, and at the minute I've cut 5 of the unicorn ones out, and I've cut 5 of the star out. Not sure what I'm doing yet. I don't know whether to make a complete bag out of hexes or just put like a pattern of hexes on a plain bag. So that's my job for the afternoon. I've got, how long have I got? Actually, I've got half an hour left, and then I'll be going home. So I'm going to see what I can do. in my second sock last night, the opal sock, the nice pinky ones, and yeah, they've turned out okay. Really pleased with these. I've sort of tweaked a little bit, but yeah, really happy. No, the pattern doesn't match up. Mind you, I'm not bothered about that. I like socks like this, odd socks. Having said that, the toes are not too bad, are they? Yeah. Yes, oh, that's brilliant. Anyhow, I think, what have I got left now? I think I've got my Strictly socks and I've got the Easter socks left to do. The Strictly socks I've got a pattern in. I've forgotten which ones they were now. Can't remember. I know it was a Kay Jones pattern from the Bakery Bears. I think it was one of her Richard's Potter sets that I bought last year. Like a waffle pattern, I think it is. Yeah, so I don't know which one to do actually. I can't make up my mind. To be honest, I might do the Easter ones next. Yeah, because they would toe up, so I think I might do them next. But I'm going to have a little bit of a break from sock knitting, maybe for a week. Just depends. I might decide to get on with them, but no, I'm going to start on the Snuggledown Cowl. So I think tonight when I come out of my sewing room and I'll come back in the front room to watch telly, I think I'm going to start winding the balls up. So that should be fun. Yes, I'm actually looking forward to that. I can't wait to get started on it. Haven't done any more work on my Snuggledown. No, not Snuggledown one. Just a snow wrap this week since the beginning of the week. But yeah, I don't mind. That's fine. So now I'm going to go and do some sewing. And this is my new piece of equipment that I've got for my sewing room. It arrived late on yesterday afternoon and I managed to unpack it, but I couldn't actually bring it out to the sewing room because of the weather. So I'm just having a go with it now and it's working really well. And it was actually quite quick to heat up. It took about 3 to 4 minutes to heat up, and the steam was ready. Well, the water for the steam was ready just before that. I've put a cloth on it so I don't get any mess on my ironing pad that's there. And you've got to be careful with this fabric as well, because obviously it's got sort of like glitter on it and you're not meant to iron it on the front side. So I put this cloth on just to protect my pad, but I will have to get a couple of what they're called now, a couple of sheets, protective sheets to go on there. I'll think of the name when I finish filming. Because obviously I use a lot of interfacing and I'm always getting it stuck on my ironing board, so I need to protect the pads. But yeah, the steam works well, and up to now, first impressions, I'm quite impressed. It does pretty well, so I think this has been a good investment, but time will tell. And I've just finished cutting some hexes out. I've only done a few just to get me started because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing yet. I don't know whether to do a project bag or something else. I just want to use up my scraps, that's all really. So I'm going to have a little play tonight and make a start on doing some hexes and just see how I get on. So I will share a bit later on. And I've now got all my papers cut out, and I've got a selection of fabric here, so I'm all ready to actually continue. But I thought I'd just quickly tell you a bit about the paper that we're using. Now, yesterday when well, you'll have seen in the video cutting out some papers, I hadn't actually got any ordinary paper in the shop, and it was a case of, well, I want to get on, what can I use? So I found out my freezer paper. Now, anybody who's a quilter will know all about this. This has been on the go for years. I mean, I think we had to send to America for it a few years ago because we couldn't get it in this country. But it is absolutely fantastic, and you can use it for all kinds of things. I mean, it's everyday use. You can use it for wrapping presents up and wrapping meat up and anything, any food things. You can't put it in the oven though, by the looks of it. But it's great for crafting, obviously, because you can cover your table with it. You can mix paints on it, because one side is shiny, one side is paper. You can use it for quilting and making patterns, and it's absolutely fantastic. Now, this is how I've got mine. I've got several reels of this because, like I said, I do use it. But now they've started to do it in a pack. The only downside to it is it's not recyclable because one side is actually plastic. So like I said, that is the downside to it. But apart from that, it is absolutely amazing stuff, because I don't know if you're not going to be able to see this, but you've got your dual side, that's your paper side, and then the other side, if you can see it's shiny, that you can put the shiny side down and iron the top of your paper, and this will actually adhere to your fabric. It's not gluey, nothing like that. You can peel it off your fabric and you can reuse it maybe up to about 4 times. It's perfect if you want to put patterns on, like if you're doing dolls, say dolls clothes or small items, patchwork and things like this. You can cut your shapes out and iron it on your fabric and just cut, and it's actually stuck. So I will show you how I use it, and I thought I would use it in paper piecing just to see how it worked. And I tried it last night and the papers come out lovely, and you can reuse them, so it's a win-win, I think. So I will show you how I do it. Right, so I've got my fabric, so it's right side down, and I've got my piece of freezer paper. Now you can see the shine there, so that's your plasticky side, so that goes down on your fabric. So what I'm going to do is place my freezer paper on my fabric so it's in the centre. And it will look like this, and then you just need to iron and it will just look like that, and then you're ready to start and fold in your sides for stitching. Right, so now we're ready to do the next stage. So all you do, I know you're not going to really see this very well, is just fold your fabric around your paper, so it's going to look like that. You just do one piece at a time, and then you're just going to quickly stitch it on. You don't have to be neat or have tiny stitches or anything like that. This is just to hold your sides in, so you've got a nice shape. So when you get to there for your corner, so you're going to fold that piece over so it looks like that. Just make sure you put your needle down there to hold it down. Right, so that's what you'll end up with. Now what I would do now is just give it a press. So then you've got nice crisp edges then. Look at the state of my iron. This was my class iron. That's the state of it. Yeah, so that's all ready now. So all you need to do now is make several of these, and then we can start putting them together. And now you've got a selection of these all stitched, your next stage is actually start to put them together. And this is how my pattern's going. And you can see it's sort of like a flower, and then I'm putting white, I think, all the way around the edge. So I'll show you how I put mine together. Right, I'll just clip mine, then you can see it better. So what I'm doing is I'm putting right sides together, and then I've just clipped it. I mean, clip it by all means. And I'm just going to over stitch all the way across that edge. The idea is that when you flap that back, you don't really see any stitching. I mean, that's a bit fiddly to do, because yeah, some stitching does show, but you're sort of catching just the fabric on both sides, not your paper. So that's how I'm stitching through. Just make sure your two bits stay close together, and you're just picking up in the fold. So you're going to stitch all the way across until we get to that corner. Okay, so I've finished stitching across there. So now what I'm going to do is lift that bit up, and then I'm going to stitch that side, and then I'm going to stitch that side. So all you do is just fold over. I mean, like I say, you can use a clip, a wonder clip, or a pin to hold it together. And just fold it down, and then just start stitching across there. And then basically that's all you do. That is your English paper piecing, and you can produce whatever pattern you like. I think the flower design is nice, and I think I'm just going to do enough to make a bag actually with this, because it's quite pretty. But don't take any of your papers out until you've completely finished, but we'll come to that bit a bit later on. And I've made veggie curry tonight, and we have to go with it some sweet potato bhaji's and a 12-piece sharing selection, which has got, I don't know, there we go, onion bhaji's and things like that, and some poppadoms. It's Kevin's birthday today, so I thought I'd cook him something that he likes. And we're not going out tonight because I never know what time he's getting in from work, and could be late, and then we don't want to be eating too late. So yeah, I've cooked this, and we've got tiramisu for pudding, so he should be happy. And here we are again, Friday, end of the week, and as you can see, I'm still at the shop. I've had Irene in for a one-to-one, and we're getting on quite well with this clam-shaped quilt that she's doing. So she's gone off happy, and I had to sort of stay behind for a while today because I've been packing Etsy orders, so they've all gone. So if there's anybody out there that's bought off me on Etsy last couple of days, your order's on its way. So thank you very much, do appreciate it. So I'm just having a bit of a tidy round, then I'm going home. But I thought I would share with you the bag that I was making the other day. Quote as you go. Oh God, I've got memory loss this week. But yeah, there we go. That's it. I think it's turned out really well. I really like that. It's nice. It's one of our medium-sized bags, so it will hold 300 grams of yarn. There's only one, and it's going to go in my Etsy shop Saturday. Yeah, I have to think what day I'm on. Yes, but I definitely will be doing quarter to go again. I think that's a really nice technique, and obviously I'm using up scraps as well, so that is good. So I'm going to be heading off home in about 10 minutes, and oh, you know, there's so much to do. I don't know what to do first. I think what I might do, I've got a few jobs to do in the house, and I think then I'll get on with the wool winding. I've been putting it off and putting it off. I've got to do it. So that's today's job, I think, and then I will just see what else I can get done. Yes. So I might see you a bit later on. I'm not sure yet. Well, I'm all ready to start on my Snuggledown Cowl. I think I'm just going to make a nice frothy coffee and go and sit down for a little while and get knitting. Well, I'm just enjoying my second coffee. Oh, it was a mistake sitting down to knit, I tell you. I thought, oh, catch up on a few podcasts. No chance. Sit down, warm, hot drink, and I wanted to go to sleep. Oh dear. So I put the knitting down for a bit. Thought, have another coffee, get a few jobs done. I shall be alright then. Wake myself up a little bit. I have been doing a little bit more work on my hexagons, but I think it's going to be next week before I actually can show you anything else. That's the air freshener. Sounds terrible, that. So yes, I will share what I do with hexagons next week when I finish it. But for now, yes, a little bit of housework, sort something out for tea, and that might be it. I'll get back to some knitting then. So I just want to say thank you for joining me this week. It's lovely to have your company, and I will see you all again next week. Bye for now.